Hello, hello. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Welcome, welcome. It's been a while. It's been a while. I was asked to come on. I've been getting a lot of people asking me what happened. We haven't seen you. Thanks for the like. Thanks for the like. I've been getting a lot of people calling me, asking me what happened. They haven't seen me. So it's Saturday night and let's chat. Let's chat. Let's chat, guys. You see the topic? Let's chat. Welcome, welcome. Sharon, good night. Good night. It's been a while, hasn't it? It's been a while. Those of you who are here, I want to say welcome. Welcome, Sharon. Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me? I want to say welcome, welcome. Those are in the chat. Those are that quiet watchers, silent watchers. Welcome. Those have been, thank you. Those that has been following me from the inception, and those of you that came and found me, welcome, welcome, welcome. Guys, let's reach out to our friends. Let's reach out and invite them on because I found out why most of you are not getting notifications. YouTube has not released that for the channel as yet, but I'm getting there. With your help, I will be there. So come along, invite those that are always on and other friends. Invite them on to join us. Invite them to join us. Invite them to join us as we talk about this topic that quite a few folk, has asked me to talk about this topic. I tried to shy away from it, but they said they want to hear my views and my opinion on it. So, guys, I'm going to wait. Sharon, join me in waiting. And could you go ahead and invite others on for me? Go ahead and invite others. I'm going to wait a little bit to see who else come on. Gonna wait to see who else come on. Share out for me, guys. Share out for me, please. Because they should be interested. They should be interested. With you guys' help, I don't like when I do lectures, but I don't like them. I love interactive conversations. So we're gonna figure out this tonight. We're gonna figure out this tonight. We might not get an answer, but we might get some laughs. We might get some laughs tonight. So share for me, guys, and invite. Share and invite for me. Thank you, Sharon. You're my champion. I appreciate you so much. And also, thanks for coming on. And as you come on, please like the channel for me. This really, really assists my algorithm. It also assists me to get to where I'm going, not just subscriptions, but also liking it. And let me explain something for me. Liking doesn't mean that you're going to agree with everything. Liking is showing me that, guess what? I'm going to help you to get where you need to be. Okay? So go ahead and like as you come on for me. Mary, are you kidding, Mary? Hello. How are you? Share out for me, Mary. I have not forgotten you. I have not forgotten you, Mary. Meet Walter Sauce and More, Mary. She's also one of those faithful viewers. Nice to see you, Mary. I don't know who I call, but girlfriend, forgive me. This is the only time the gray is speaking, okay? Blame it on the gray, Mary. But I haven't forgotten you. And give me a buzz, or I'll find some time to give you a buzz. It's been a rough few months for me, Mary. I know Walter Sauce and More. You know that my father has been sick. I've been just going back and forth, and other illnesses in the family that is really difficult on me. But tonight I decided to come on because, as I said, I was asked by quite a few folk to talk about this age thing in relationship. This age thing in relationship. Does age really don't matter, as they're trying to convince us? Is age just a number? Is age just a number in relationships? Is age just a number? Oh my goodness. Thank you, Mary. Okay. Marlon, welcome, Marlon. Thanks, Marlon. So good to have you on. So good to have you on. So is age really a number when it comes on to relationship? Is age really a number? And when I say age, I'm talking about 5 years. 5 years is, for me, is okay. 5 years difference, I don't see it as an issue. Yes. Walter say age matters. Marlon say age matters for him in a relationship. And for me, I'm a little flexible if the life experience is there. But the conversation I had with my private friends, in my friends group, is we're seeing a lot of this 25 and yes, Mary, I'm a little flexible, because in 2023, we can't be too rigid. However, how flexible should we get with this age relationship thing? What is important to you? Is it just, age is a number, but it's an issue in a relationship? Yes, age is a number. But when we talk about the relationship, Marlon said he has done 10 years his senior. I don't know how old you are, Marlon, but was it sustainable? And that's the question. In the age difference, what age do you think is sustainable? Because I saw to this evening, okay, someone says if the person is the same age, it makes it more important. I saw, when I was coming on, I saw something flash across my Facebook page of a marriage that happened. You're in your 50s, and you went 10 years your senior. So that's 60. That's not bad, Marlon. Yes, most of us women, I don't want to say I love older men because I'm 63 pretty. So the older, the older for me would come in quotation, how much older, because we have to take, enjoyment, you know, the golfing enjoyment. We have to take that in consideration. We have to take the golfing enjoyment in consideration. If the person can golf 3 times a week, I think I could go. I could go with it. But it's not the most important thing, a game of golf. But it range. The scale is, the scale is there. Uh, I've seen 20. Can you imagine me marrying a man 25 years older? That means he would have to be 88. Okay, Marlon, I see what Marlon is saying. She had a lot of insecurities. But Marlon, that's weird. Y'all are killing me. No wonder they asked me to do this topic. Okay, you don't mind them. Somebody said they don't mind them older, but they also don't want to be a nurse wife. And not yet, right? Because let's go back to Marlon a little bit. Marlon, I'm a little surprised because I know that Jamaican men are getting a beating. I mean, everywhere you turn on social media. I don't know what it is, Marlon, but Jamaicans are getting a whooping. I mean, you guys don't have a chance anymore, it seems. I mean, they're getting a whooping. I listen. I'm getting there, Sharon. I'm getting there. I don't know what it is, but every time you go, 95% of the time, and as a content provider, we tend to go on each other platform. It's just, it's just a thing. And when they're talking about relationships and they talk about Jamaican men, I want to take some Ativan. This is scary, Marlon. But let me go back to say, and I'll come back to you, Mary. And let me say this, that at the rate things are going now, I'm surprised, Marlon, because I can say for myself and for a lot of single women in my, in my circle, that we are more flexible now. My flexibility now compared to when I was 20 or 30 years older, I mean, younger, more understanding, I'm more patient. I don't know if it's age, it is age. Maturity, the mistakes I've made in marriage, I understand more how important marriage is now than I ever. You're kidding, Marlon. Wow, that's insecure. Yeah, I don't want to be your skin. I want to be your friend and your lover, not your skin. I also don't want to be your deodorant, because even though we're a couple, we have to have separate lives so we can come back and appreciate each other. And don't get me wrong now, guys. When I say a separate life, I don't mean you go out there and plant another, plant some rose garden when you have tulips home and orchids. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about coming apart, having the person to have their own breathing space and come back to you. Because if a man wants to cheat, he's going to cheat. Cheating has nothing to do with size or age or smell. It's something you want to do. It's not a disease that just come upon you and you can't help it. So the more secure a woman is, it makes better for the relationship. Likewise, a man, the more secure the man is, the more he has or her has their own life, so to speak, has their own interests, their own hobbies. It makes for a better relationship. And I learned that very early in my life. I love my spouse, but I never smothered them. And I think that's where I went wrong. I think I'll be a little bit more, I won't let them so free. Let them be a little more accountable. But Marlon, I believe that a woman 50 and up, I thought they would be more secure of who they are, unless you give the person a reason to be so needy and clingy. You're kidding. Whoa, Marlon. So sorry, but I hope that has not deferred you, though, because there are good women out here. And I think the reason why people are going to these 10-year-olds and 110-year-olds is because the relationship that they have had has turned out to be such a disappointment. So everyone is going left now. I think that's what it is that, okay, Mary. So because you had a difficult time with Mary or Jane, you think that everybody's the same. But I've always said, my husband is my husband. He's not all the men in the universe. I love love. I love relationship. So I'll always be open for it. But back to what we were saying, an 80-year-old marrying a 23-year-old, is that sustainable? Holistic relationship. Yes, there might be the money there, but how long can that? Yes, money makes life easier. Money can buy a little more things, but what about peace of mind? What about happiness? What about, don't you want to talk with the person about things that are familiar? Can you talk to the person about your upbringing religiously or your upbringing socially, and can they have an understanding of that? And then the other question is, can that relationship slide into a parental thing? Oh boy, Marlon, I'm so sorry. That's insecurity at its best. I'm so sorry. Because if you're being treated right by your companion or your husband, you're saying, I've never been treated so respectfully, and you turn that left to be so needy. Those two don't work together, because mature women, especially women 50 and over, they're more understanding and more flexible and have less inhibitions. Those that do, is something that can be worked through. So a 23-year-old and a 80-year-old, is that sustainable? Seriously? Mary said that she doesn't want to be a wife nurse. When you're with a person for years and the person gets sick, I've heard so many women and men say this: I will stay with the person. But I don't know, help me, ladies and men. You take up a person in their 80s, and 2 weeks after you get married, because I'm not in moving. I'm not going to support this moving thing. At my age now, the only moving I want to move in is with the Lord. So dating is intentional. I want to settle down. So then 2 weeks after you settle down, the person gets sick, and then you have the walker by the bedside, you have the tooth coming out. I'm not ready for that. Give me at least a couple of dates in the marriage. Okay. But Marlon, even though you've had that experience, Don't give up on relationships. Don't give up on relationships. Dating a person 10 years, you're 50, and you date a person 10 years older than you, I wouldn't think you would have so many issues because there's so much in common. There's so much that you can find in common. So when you get to a certain age, I don't know if I'm living in La La Land. Your insecurity is supposed to wean. Your insecurity 60s plus, your insecurity, you should have them under control. You should have them under control. And if you don't, then there's a deeper issue in that you have not taken time to heal. You have not taken time to really heal and love on yourself and enjoy your own company before a relationship comes. Because if you do the work at 50, 60, you shouldn't have the same issues that 17 and 18-year-old has. So how sustainable is it to marry or date someone that is 23 and 30 years older than you? Because at some point, the person is going to be ready to just be home, reading a book. They don't want to go anywhere. They're so set in their ways that the relationship can turn around. Yes. Yes, Marlon, we don't have to worry about kids anymore. And there are certain things that happen in our bodies that we don't have to worry about dealing with those things anymore, you know? So therefore, when you get to a certain age, I don't want to raise another child. I don't want to raise another child. Welcome to those who are not in the chat, who are silent watchers and listeners. I appreciate you. I appreciate those in the chat. I'm asking you guys to like up the live and share it for me. Share the live for me. I appreciate you. So we shouldn't be going through what an 18-year-old is going through at 50 and 60. Is there a correct age? Is there a correct age when you're 50 and 60? And it's an individual thing, because I've often said, if I'm going to settle down, I would love somebody that is still has some funness in them, still want to do some traveling. I love to travel. So I would love for them to be able to go with me at least twice a year, that, can stand on their own and take care of themselves financially. And this is a conversation I had with a gentleman. And I've had it a lot with men. A lot with men. One guy said to me, I like you, but I couldn't date you because I couldn't maintain your lifestyle. My lifestyle is mine. I have it before you. I've maintained myself as a single woman before you come in my life. So therefore, I can maintain myself. I'm not a shopaholic. I buy nice things that last. I pay my bills and I go through a rough time like everybody else, but I have been sustaining myself. So you men coming into an independent woman's life, it doesn't mean that you have to pay all our bills. No. But at the same time, you have to be able to carry yourself in the relationship. Whether we're going to partner and come together and say 50-50 on the bills, because you are out there paying your bills, I'm here paying my bills, so we come together. Okay, Sharon? So we come together. We come together and we do this thing together. I'm not going to stop taking care of myself because I'm in a relationship. No. So you don't have to be afraid, man. And that somebody told me that the reason why they date younger women is because the women are not yet independent and self-sufficient. I said, really? And they said, yes, because you guys can take care of yourself. You can. Sharon said, thank you, Marlon. That's happy to hear. Marlon said he's not intimidated by a woman's independence or her presence. But a lot of men are. A lot of men, they use it as an excuse as not to get to know you. And someone shared with me, this is why they're going for the 10-year-olds. Because with the 10-year-olds, they can boss them around and they can, we don't want someone to boss us around. We just want someone to respect us and understand that we had a life before we met them and try to merge with us and, try to understand that majoring in the minors is not going to work in a relationship that has been independent. If the person loves a lot of flowers and they've been buying themselves flowers before they met you, don't make that be an issue. Don't make that be an issue. Now, if they can't manage their bills and they're always short on their bills, it's a different thing. But if you dated the person, you'll get to know the person. You'll get to know how they handle money. And if they're taking care of themselves all these years and you're coming into their life, don't use that to be an issue. Okay. Okay, Marlon. Oh, Sharon, you're a mess. I love that, Sharon. I believe, and if I'm wrong, the opinions that are shared, let me say this before I go further. The opinions that are shared in the chat are not necessarily opinions of Home Care Queen TV. However, everyone has a right to voice their opinion, and this platform is a safe space for people to voice their opinions. Okay, so we're not going to bash anyone or attack anyone that has a different opinion from us. Okay, because what makes conversation work is when you have some challenges. Because the person disagree with you doesn't mean they hate you. No, they don't. They just disagree. All right. So someone says that it's the insecurities. Someone says that it's the insecurities of men or women why they go with such great age difference. Now, I as a single woman in her 60s, I would love a compatible person. I don't want to raise another child. So I would love someone who is age compatible, not too old, just right in the middle. Someone asked me if I would date a 50-year-old. If the 50-year-old is coming with maturity, sense of responsibility, and let me tell you something, guys. Playing golf in a relationship is not the only thing that you should look forward to as a person that is dating. Doesn't matter what age you are. We're talking about older dating now and younger dating. The person should be on their job more than 6 months. They should be on their job more than 6 months. Okay, Marlon. I got you. Okay, Marlon. That would be interesting. A person should be on their job more than 6 months. Okay. Now, for over 50 and 60, the person should have some type of pension coming to them or social security and been on their job for a while. You know, I've interfaced with men 48, 50 that tells me they're between job. I'm like, what? What does that mean? Have you moved from another state into another state and you're vested in your job and you're just looking for work here? That's different. But when you say, Marlon, help me, when a man says, or a woman, help me, Sharon, that they are between jobs at a certain age, what does that mean? What does that mean? Is it that you got laid off and, pardon me, is it that you got laid off and you're trying to find a job? Or is it that you can't keep a job? So a man in his 80s taking up a woman in her 24, 25, probably she's just coming out of college. So she's just trying to find her way in a profession. But if he takes up a woman, or a woman takes up a man 50, 60, 70 years old, you would have thought it can be many reasons why. You would have thought that if you're 80 and you're dating a 70-year-old, that person has had their pension, they have retired, they're doing a little part-time job to occupy their time. But you're 80 and you take up a 24-year-old, you want to just sit back and watch TV. She wants to go hang out. Oh, okay. Okay. Yes, Marlon, yes. So you know, when you're a certain age, you should have some security. One of the things that makes a woman feel love is safety, security, and respect. When a woman feels respected and loved and supported, man, you get the world out of us. You get the world out of us. Likewise, when a man, Jackie Gross, good night, good night, good night. Thanks for coming in, Jackie. Share out, Jackie. Share out and invite others in. I know there's so many platforms and you guys coming on. I really appreciate it as you come on, like for me, like the channel up and share the channel up for me and interact with each other in the chat. For those of you who are silent watchers, I appreciate you again. Welcome. So I know we are all over the place because that's what relationship is. It's not an exact science. What works for me will not work for you, or probably will mirror what I have, but it doesn't work. And when you pick up someone, you're 60 and you pick up a 15-year-old, what is that all about? Are you planning to open a nursery school? What is that all about? You know? So what I'm saying is, it might work, but is it sustainable? Is it sustainable? It seems as if marriage and relationship, I mean, every time you turn, somebody's getting divorced after marrying for 10 weeks or 10 minutes. But marriage can work. Marriage can work. And when okay, Marlon. Okay. Marlon is whipping me tonight. Yes, Jackie, I know. You're always, you and Sharon, always a big supporter. and always encouraging people to join when I'm on, and I appreciate it. So guys, what I'm saying is it okay for these 23 and 24 years difference? You know? And would you do it? And Angela Lewis, I know I was just looking to see if she's here. Yes, she's one of my champions, and I appreciate you guys. And those that are on that are not showing themselves in the chat, I appreciate you guys too. So Jackie, the conversation is relationship with large age difference. And someone just texts me on my Instagram and say, talk about long distance relationship. Now that's a whole different can of worm. So we're gonna look into that. So you meet someone from a different country, they're 25, you're 50 or 60, and you said you're looking for companionship, yet the person is in a whole nother country, another world. Is that sustainable? Thank you, Jackie. I appreciate you. Thank you. So we talk about the age difference, but someone wants to talk about the age difference on long distance. How does that work? You're 50 and you're picking up a man or a woman. Okay, Marlon. Okay, Marlon. You're 50 and you're taking on a 30-year-old or a 20-year-old. And I've seen where it works. I've seen where it works. I have a situation with someone that's very, very close to me, and I'm watching it. It's working for now, but is it sustainable? Is it sustainable to have a long distance relationship with a younger person or an older person? Because listen, I don't know if I have it wrong, but at this stage in my life, anybody remember the Yellow Pages? Remember the commercial? Reach out and touch. Remember the commercial? Thank you, Jackie. I appreciate you always. You know that. You remember that thing that you want to reach out and touch? At this point in my life, I cannot see myself dating someone that does not live in the United States. Because I want to get to know you. I want to spend time with you. You know, I can't date somebody for 5 and 10 years because I want to be able to enjoy life with them before I need them to pass me, pass me the Tylenol. I want to enjoy. So for me, spending time with someone in another country, for me, it's just a waste of time. It's a complete waste of time. And who's to guarantee that they're faithful? You can't even guarantee it when they live with you. Marlon, I'm going to slap you in another world. Marlon said, Marlon, can I share it? Marlon says he doesn't like hair extension, much less a long distance relationship. Oh my goodness. Marlon, you're cracking me up. The lights are hot in here, Marlon. The lights are hot. Is he I'm sweating? The lights are hot in here. I forgot to put up the air. Whenever I come on, because my lights are so hot, I always put on the air, and tonight I forgot to put the air down. So Marlon says he don't like hair extensions. He loved the hair the way it is. Okay, Sharon. I know, Marlon, honesty and transparency is what works these days. So for me, for the person that asks if I would do it, I would not. Not at this space in my life. I need someone that is close by so we can get to know each other. We can go out for dinner. We can go on walks. We can go out for drive. So, what in Jesus' name? Every time I need to see you, I got to get on a plane? Nah, nah, it's not going to happen. When I get on a plane, it's with you to go somewhere. It's with you to go somewhere. So for me, I'm saying, I'm not knocking it. For me, it would not work. I want the person close by because I'm looking for a companion. I'm looking for a companion. So therefore, I want a bill. And as I said, I can't date you for 10 years. I can't even promise you I'm going to date you for 2 years because Willie, hello, Will Rich. Unstoppable. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Like as you come in, Will. Like as you come in. You know, I'm always messing up your name, and I'm so glad you love me. So I'm going to stick with Unstoppable because otherwise I'm going to just mess your name up, as you know. Welcome. Say hello to everyone. And we're talking about relationship. Unstoppable. We're talking about relationship. We're talking about age difference. We're talking about long distance. I was asked to talk about it. Long distance relationship. So, would you do if you're 50, would you date a 25 or a 28-year-old? And if you are 30, would you date an 80-year-old? And is it sustainable? That's what we're talking about. Sustainable relationship. Right now, the way it's going in 2023, relationships look like they're popped in a microwave. As soon as the minutes is done, it's over. It's cold. It's gone. But relationships can work. Relationships can work, but the two people have to want it, have to be willing to work at it. An 8-year-old, yeah, I'm telling you, it's like everywhere you turn, mature women will become extinct. Independent, mature woman has become extinct. It's like a man in his 60s want an 8-year-old. It's illegal, but they still want it. So I'm saying, what age difference? That's just a metaphor. Well, I mean, unstoppable. I don't mean 8-year-old. I just mean that they're running away from the mature woman. Let me not say 8-year-old. Let's scratch that. That was just a joke. They're running away, it seems, from mature women for whatever the reason. Because so what we're saying here is, what is the age difference that would work for you? What is the age difference that is sustainable? Because we were saying before you come on Unstoppable that insecurities comes in every age. However, at what point do we say, listen, I want a mature person that we can share the next chapter in our life with. I want a companion. I want someone that I could talk to and laugh with. And does that have an age? That's the question we're asking. Does that has an age limit? Are we looking at it wrong? Are we looking at it like the person said to me, age should has nothing to do with it. If you love someone, you love someone. So what the age has to do with it? Does age matter? Does distance matter? Intimacy. How does that play? Okay, Marlon. And that's what I'm saying. It's not what works for me is going to work for you. But at the same time, is there such a thing as an age that you should not go over or under? Is there such a thing as, okay, if I'm 60, I should not date somebody in their 40s? Is there such a thing? Or is it an individual thing and it can work and it can be sustainable? Someone is saying in the area of distance that distance does matter. I think so too. I think so too. Because relationship is about building, yes. Relationship is about building intimacy, building, getting to know each other, get asking the tough question and looking at the person, because when you're on the phone, you can tell a person anything. But when the person is in front of you, when the person is in front of you, you can read their body language. And you want to touch the person. You want the hugs, So if you always have to jump on a plane to see the person, how does that work? Someone said to me, it's better than being alone. I'd rather be alone. I'd rather be alone than going into a long distance relationship. I'd rather to be alone. It's expensive. And the trust is a big thing. Can you truly trust the person? Age matters. Someone says age matter and distant matters too. And there are other things that matter. Someone says, Lindsay Charles, welcome. So nice to see you. Good night, Sissy Pooh. Good night. Thanks for coming in. Like up and invite those that. Yes, Jackie, invite Lindsay, invite those that are not getting notification. I explained before why people are not getting notification. I need to get to a certain stage for YouTube to open up my subscription to go public. So I'm depending on you guys as you come in to invite those that would not know that I'm on. Okay, yes, just going in a relationship because you want someone. Now, let me tell you, I said it before. Desperation makes bad decision. Never as a single person get desperate. Never do it. And that's a choice. That's a choice, Sharon. That's a choice. Everybody has to decide what's best for them. Everybody has to decide, and what I've learned in my singleness, especially the last year, what I've learned is that needing a companion does not necessarily mean relationship of a sexual nature. Having good friend groups, and I'm learning that. When my best friend comes around, when I'm with my family, it brings me, the interaction I'm looking for. It brings me the interaction I'm looking for, the laughter I'm looking for, the change of mind, that I'm looking for. So being single is not a crime. Neither is it a curse. Loving yourself. I'm learning to truly, truly accept and love Muriel. And it's a wonderful feeling. I'm no longer that broken person I was 10, 15 years ago that needs everybody approval and acceptance. Yes, I hate to be disrespectful. That's my pet peeve, and God knows I'm praying about it. And all you people that believe in prayer, pray for me, because I have an issue with being disrespected. And I'm working on letting it go. I'm working on letting it go. My pastor said today that the reason why God said for us to put on the breastplate of righteousness and stand is because we should be able to take criticism. We should be able to take all the things that are thrown at us, knowing that God loves us. And boy, I tell you, he was preaching to me. He says stand for a reason. He didn't say sit, he didn't say walk, he didn't say run. He says stand. And when you're standing, rest in him so you can take everything. I Unstoppable, you have to teach me. I cannot find it, and I wrote to YouTube and they told me I'm not there yet. I see the button, but it won't allow me to click on it. And I wrote to YouTube and they told me I'm not there yet and they'll notify me. So Unstoppable, if you can help me, thank you so much, Lindsay. Unstoppable, if you can help me to undo that, because I'm still learning. Believe me, I'm almost 8 months in and I'm still learning. And I've learned so much about how to manage my page. So Unstoppable, if you can reach out to me, I'll put my number in. I would appreciate if you can reach out to me and help me to solve that problem, because I've been asking for help to solve it. So here's my number. Reach out to me on Facebook and help me to solve that problem. So true. We are the example for our children. We're an example for our friends. Yes, the way we manage. Are you serious, Sharon? From 2014? Girl, you're good. I lift my cap to you. That's long. That is long. But each person has their own walk. I know people who have been out of relationship for 20 years and they're happy. They're happy. Okay. Sharon, between Sharon and Unstoppable and Marlon, it's all about choices. It's all about choices. And if a person feels like they want to be single for the rest of their life, it's their choice. It's their choice, especially people who are divorced. I have a lot of associates that would not go into marriage after. Yeah. Yes, Walter, she got it down to a science. Walter, she got it down to a science, girlfriend. I lift my cap to you. I support you in it. For me, if I have to stay single, I'm okay with it now. I'm okay with it now. But I love companionship and I love relationship. So I would love if that comes my way. I'm open to it. I'm not stressing myself over it. I'm going to stay cute whether I'm happy or whether I'm single or married. I'm still going to be cute. I'm still going to serve my God and I'm still going to live. Sharon, you're a mess. So open up yourself, Sharon. Decide what you want with age in a relationship. Decide what you're looking for in a relationship and open up yourself for it. Is it hard in 2023 to find a companion, and that's male or female? It is hard. It's like the big C just took away people's brains. They're more conniving, they're more deceitful, it seems, than ever before. But we still have to trust. We still have to trust. I know somebody that has 28 requirements. I don't think I got 5. I'm a little more flexible, a little more understanding because I'm older and I'm wiser. Yeah, single life is okay when it's okay. But sometimes I wish I had someone to call and say, let's go out for dinner or let's go for a walk. I love to cook. I love to cook. And the joy of cooking for me is to have someone to share it with. So there are times when I wish I had someone to knock on the door or to text and say I'm coming over. It's just a natural thing that for those of us who wish that. For those of us who has come to terms with singledom, more power to you. More power to you. I'm not there yet. I'm still open. I'm open, but I'm okay if it doesn't happen because I would never. I know Sharon. Can I be at that wedding, Sharon? I will buy the plane ticket. I will find the guest house, Sharon. When you find a husband, oh my gosh, we all should be there with our orange t-shirt that said she did it. Ah. Oh. I love this. Guys, give me a minute. Give me a minute. Let me go put my AC down. The lights have it a little bit too warm for me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you waiting. Sharon, you better be what you're wishing he is. You better be, Sharon, not just him. Because child, that can be some stuff, Sharon. You know, the thing about being single and accepting singleness so it doesn't drive you into making decisions that comes back to really break you. Oh my God, Sharon. The thing about singleness is to accept it, and it takes time, especially if you're coming out of a divorce. That, people think that folk who are divorced had relationships that were bad all through the divorce. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. I can speak for me. My relationship was not bad all through the divorce. But when it became bad, it was like a tornado. It was unbearable. It was unbearable. So taking the time, I can imagine, Marlon, as I said before, it's like something is wrong with you guys. People are running away from you all like the plague. Jamaica, and I can speak about Jamaica because that's where I'm from, and I've seen so much lately, so much on the channels, especially channels that deal exclusively with relationship. I mean, Jamaican men, you all need some redemptive measure. You need a church, a good Bible preaching church. You all are getting a bad rap. I don't know if it's bad or it's you guys deserve it. I don't know. But it's not looking good. It's not looking good for you guys at all. But in order to make decisions for me that are wise is to accept singleness, love on yourself, enjoy your life in the single space, and be open for relationship, but not be desperate. Desperate people do terrible things. Desperate people makes decisions. Not really, Marlon, not where I'm from. No, 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 no. Desperate people do desperate things. And when you're desperate as a woman or a man, you make choices that you're clouded. Okay, I understand that, Sharon. I'll keep you in my purse. When you're desperate, you make decisions that are cloudy and end up. Yes, that is true. I don't know what has happened to men in church. There's no men in the church. They're the married or going to the grave. And what are we going to do? And this is why it's so important as single, especially single older women, for us to embrace our singleness, find joy in our singleness, so we don't make decisions. And I'm talking as a divorcee, guys. If I had it to do over again, there's so much things I would do differently. So much things I would do differently. I was young and everything looked favorable. All the conversations we had could not have told me that I would be divorced. Never saw it coming. And it took a while to get through it, and then getting into another relationship, and you never saw it coming that it wouldn't work where you want it to work. But what it has taught me is to love myself, appreciate myself, be confident that I'm okay with or without a man. I was never one that had low self-esteem or second guess myself. But it teaches you to think and step back. And I don't like the word compromise, because when you compromise, you give up who you are to facilitate the person. Listen, Marlon, we got to talk. You're in the wrong church, Marlon. You're in the wrong church, Marlon, my friend. You're in the wrong church. There's certain type of churches I will never be a part of. I love large organized church because there's accountability, and I leave that there. The thing about it, and I'm encouraging women in their 50s and up that have gone through broken relationships and divorce. We learn so much from it that we should not be paranoid and to the point where, we get to the point that we want a perfect man. There is no perfect man. There will be no perfect man except the child that was born yesterday. You would have to take him under your wing and indoctrinate him and get him your way. There's no perfect man. There's no perfect woman. I don't care what age. So you go take up a 20-year-old and you're 90, she's still not perfect. She's still not going to be perfect. You'd never find a perfect woman or a perfect man. However, understanding who you are. A man once asked me, lately too, what am I bringing to the table? I am the table. You come with the chairs. So let's see if they can fit under my table. And men, I hope I'm not scaring you off. But I'm the table. I'm the woman. The Bible says, he that findeth a wife findeth a good thing. It didn't say he that findeth a husband. No. Y'all don't get me preaching now. I got my own sermon. I am the table. Let's see the chair that you're bringing. Let's see if it will fit. Because I'm independent and because I can take care of myself doesn't mean I don't need you. That is true. Unstoppable, that is true. We can be misleading. And this is the reason why I am saying, for me, long distance relationship will not work. Because you can tell me anything you want to tell me on a phone. You can go to your aunt's house and leave the wife at home or the girlfriend at home and FaceTime me. You can go to your best bud's house and FaceTime me. What somebody says, every Jamaican man lives with his sister and his cousin. No, I don't know that now. I don't know that much about them. I'm just saying what I'm hearing. What I'm simply saying is this. If your 80 and a 20-year-old is sustainable, more power to you. More power to you. But the cries are not supporting you that is sustainable. Because after a while you're crying. They ripped me off. They took me for everything I got. Not saying an older person can't do it. You see, this relationship thing is such a mess. It's such a mess. Because even think somebody says, oh, you just have to meet somebody in Christ. Father Jesus, do you know how much of them come and say they're in Christ? You have to go on your knees. You have to go on like a 21-day fast, it seems. But if this is what you want, if a companion is what you want, I'm driving unstoppable crazy. I said 80-year-old and he went in a coma. And now I said 80 and 20. Unstoppable. This is the reason why I choose a Saturday night to do this. Driving this poor person crazy. Sharon, between and unstoppable, I gotta change my drink. Guys, those of you who are silent watchers, thank you for coming on. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate you. And I'm asking you guys, like up the chat, guys. Like up the chat. There has to be something you like about this mess we're doing on here tonight. Sharon said a lot of people is baptizing in my church and this church is still getting emptier. Sharon, I think the dance halls are getting emptier too. I've not been in one in what, 50 years? or 40 years or 30. Those are things I've never done. I've gone to house parties. Thank you, Sharon. I've gone to house parties, but dance hall, I don't think I've ever done that in my life. But I heard they're getting emptier too, not just a church. I heard in the dances more women than men either, so we can't win. And this is the reason why we have to be comfortable in our skin. And it takes time, guys. It takes time. It takes maturity. You know, it takes time and it takes maturity. A relative of mine said to me the other day, I never thought you would not be married after your divorce. Yeah, woman is more than men everywhere, in the workplace, everywhere. So this is the reason why, for us not to get hurt, for us not to live our life depressed, we have to accept singleness. Even if it's in the meantime. Sharon, you know what? I'm going to slap you. Sharon, I'm going to slap you. I need some cookies. Sharon is a mess. You know, the fact is, for us to accept who we are, accept ourselves, embrace us. I know. Oh my God. I put the AC down. So the sweating is going to go away. Oh God. You know, the thing is to accept ourselves and to embrace singleness. If it's even in the meantime, you're not closing the door is still ajar, but you're saying, I'm not going to sit down and, like some people say, don't use the china until I find a mate. Girlfriend, please. Eating out of my china is, oh, girl. I eat out of my china. I put on the bed sheet on my bed. I ain't putting them up. I'm not. I was never that person. I got my good sheets on my bed right now. Right now. I got my good china in the dishwasher. And men, put on your Jordans and your nice cologne. Smell good. Look good. Even though, is there any single men in the world? Sharon? Is there any single men in the world? Mary? All the women I'm here? Is there any single men in the world? So is this the reason why we're going to the 19-year-old and the 20-year-old and then we cry and say they rip us off? Let's embrace it. It takes time. It takes maturity. But don't get so bitter because you're hurt or you were hurt. You know what, Sharon? Somebody get Sharon. Somebody, don't take away her phone yet. Where are they unstoppable? Where are they? Where are they? Sharon, I'm not going to tell them to take away your phone because I need you on. But Jesus, girl, I'm going to say a prayer for you. Sharon, I will not repeat what you said. Really unstoppable? Where are they? Because they're under some rock somewhere. Lift up the rock and let them out. Lift the rock up and let them out. Unstoppable. Unstoppable said there are a lot of single men. That's what I'm asking, Sharon. Lift up the rock and let them out. Unless you're talking about in the nursery at the hospital or in kindergarten. What are you talking about? From kindergarten to 6th grade? That's not who we're looking for. We're looking for mature men. Men that are, here's the problem, ladies. Men that are emotionally available, unattached, has let go of their pain, have let go of their anger towards women. They want to date, but they're still holding on to anger towards women. They're not emotionally available, and then they come mess up your life. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about men that are available. They're truly single. Angela Lewis, we were just calling your name. We're just calling your name, Angela, saying, where are you? We know you are a supporter of so much of us channel content providers, and I appreciate you taking the time and coming over in this lane and visiting us. Share out the live, Angela. Invite others over. Those of you, again, who are silent watchers, who doesn't want to be known or seen, I appreciate you, but I need your fingers. Put a like for us. If you don't want to be known, it's okay. Privacy matters. It's okay. But please, 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 just don't sit there and listen. There has to be something you like. If it's even my cuteness and my laugh, give me a like. Oh, you fell asleep and Lindsay texts you. Thanks, Lindsay. Thanks. Because we were wondering where you were. Where's Bro Shaka? Where's Bro Shaka? And Wendy? Where's Wendy? Where's Winsome Age? Princess Rose? Where I don't know where they are. It's Saturday night. Angela is your new friend, Marlon? Angela, you got to hold on to that brother. That brother need us. He needs some help. Hold on to him. Between him and Sharon, Angela, you've got to help these two. So Angela, we're a Saturday night chat, and I've not been on for a while, so I was asked to come on by several persons, and I'm happy I come on because I get to see you guys. And we're here talking about relationship and what we see going on around the different platforms. People are getting ripped off, people are getting scammed by long distance relationship. People, oh, you met her last week on your street. Okay, Marlon. People are getting scammed by, long distance relationship with men and women telling them how much they love them, and they're 500,000 miles away and $1,000 one-way plane tickets. So, okay, that's right. And Bro Shaka works so hard, and he's on every channel supporting everyone. But I know he spends a lot of time with his wife, so we're sending him love. But Angela, we're just talking about all the issues that we're seeing on the different channels of relationship, and people being scammed, and this 50-year-old picking up 25-year-old, and then they come crying that they took their life savings and they're gone. And how can we protect ourselves? That is true. How can we protect ourselves? We cannot truly protect ourselves, but we can be smart. And being smart, what I'm saying is, don't put yourselves, and I'm saying ourselves as a single woman in her pretty 60s, don't put yourself in situation to be taken advantage of. For me, as I said before, companionship is very important. I love relationships. I love love. And I'm open to it, but I also love me. And I've grown to love me even more over the last year, to know that I'm enough and I deserve to be treated as the queen that I am. So therefore, I'm never going to settle. And if that means being alone, I'm okay. I'm okay, but I'm open to love. Okay, sometimes you just got to do that, Marlon. Sometimes you got to walk away with your dignity. You got to walk away with who you are. Thank you, Angela. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I try to be unstoppable. When we own the things that bothers us, when we own the things that keep us up at night, when we embrace them, when we are intentional in improving who we are as a person, we're going to lose a lot of friends and family. But it's okay. It's okay not being afraid to be alone. I never thought I would get here. It's okay. I have people that accepts me and appreciates me and love me unconditionally with all my faults. Because if I can love you with yours, if you cannot love me with mine, I don't need you in my life. And when we start there, then when it comes on to partnering, our eyes will be open. Women, men, we need to use our head instead of our heart and our hockey stick, men. Our hockey stick is not the only thing, or a golf stick is not the only thing that we are looking for. Yes, we want it, but we want the honesty and we want the respect, and we want it to be emotionally available. And don't lie to us. And that goes about men and women. Don't lie to us. Don't promise up what you think we need. And some of the time, you're right. We need you. We need you, but you don't have to lie to us. When you find out the things that we're looking for, don't use it to lie to us. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't lead us on because you find out what we like. And you put yourself in that space just to get us. Don't do it. Women, don't do it to men. You know, Marlon, I tell you something. You are so right. There are some men, let me say this. Honesty doesn't have to be cruel. It doesn't have to be cruel. If I ask you if you like my gray hair, you don't have to tear me down and break my soul to be honest. And I find that some men can be so honest that they're cruel with it. There's some, and women too, can be so honest. You don't have to break the person to tell the truth. You can tell them gentle and lovingly, but some women and men take the gentleness and the lovingness as love. So then you come out and you're so cruel. I don't like your gray hair because you're ugly, and the gray hair make you even more uglier. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that at all. I don't like your shoes because you look like you're riding on a pirate ship. Women, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. You can tell a woman you don't like something, or you can tell her you're not ready for a relationship without being cruel. And some of you men, you wait until the person is totally in love with you. And then you tell them every reason you don't want the relationship in the most painful way. Likewise, women, just tell the truth up front and be calm and kind with it. You can be kind and tell the truth, you know. I'm very outspoken. I'm getting better than I used to be. I'm thinking more now. Sometimes my mouth run before my brain, but I'm learning how to stop and think before. Well, Marlon, I beg to differ that, because you're not Genie, and if you don't know what I like while courting, how would you know unless I tell you? I'm not going to tell you the things that you should figure out. But I like roses. But I don't like just red rose. I like flowers. And flowers is roses flowers. But I love flowers that are different kind of flowers. I don't like just buying me a bunch of roses. That's easy to do. That's easy to do. And you know the other thing I don't like? I don't like supermarket flowers. I don't like supermarket flowers. They're too easy. I want you to go to a flower shop and pick out different type of flowers and make your own bunch, if it's possible. Nowadays, you can't find them anymore. So if you're buying it from the supermarket, I just don't want you to go pick up the bunch, the roses that they have in front. I want you to go look in the pile with the different type of roses and pick me out. I love flowers that are multiple type of flowers. So sharing that with you is important. Sharing that with you is important. So when you decide, Linton Charles, you're all a mess. I love you all. Listen, when I tell you what I like, it's helping you to understand me. What I'm not going to do, what I'm not really before Angela. Oh, girl, I get them so much. It's a wonderful feeling to get flowers that are thoughtful, that they think about. That's why I don't like just picking up a bunch of roses and bringing it. Let me see that you thought about it. So if I don't tell you those things, now I'm not going to tell you that you must say excuse me and thank you and but if we don't tell men what we like, likewise men, if you don't tell women that what you like, they're not genies. They're not genies. So we have to share some of our likeness, but we're not going to spoon feed you because we want you to think. Now, women 50 and up, dating for us is different. Dating for us is different. So, what you would do when you're dating a 20-year-old, in some cases, you can't do it for me. Because going on a date for me is not taking me out to Pizza Hut. I don't do those things. When I get to know you, those things are fun. But going on a date, help me, guys. There is this thing called Netflix and chill. What the heck does it mean? I had to ask my daughter. She laughed me to death. And then I asked my girlfriend, Netflix and chill. What the heck does that mean? Now, when I got to know the true meaning from my girlfriend, I was floored. I was floored because I've always been in long relationships and long marriages. So I was floored. So Netflix and chill, don't come to me with it. Don't come to me with it. I don't do that. Marlon, and I will McDonald's and Burger King and Wendy's and all those places. It's not I don't know. Those are places that nah, I don't see those places as dates. I really don't. And again, it's age appropriateness we're talking about. And that's why we talk about if you're going to date someone when you're 60 and they're 23, of course they're going to want to go to McDonald's and they want to go to Chuck E. Cheese. And those places are not places that I would go in my 60s. Now, if I have a friend that has their children's birthday party there, I'll go. But for me to say, go to McDonald's and Sizzlers and all those things as a date, I don't know, but let's go for a walk. I'll more accept that. Let's go for a walk and talk. Help me, guys. Am I weird? I know I got to learn that, Marlon, in my old age. I think I was 50 years old when someone said to me, Netflix and chill. And I go, what? Devon House and Port Royal, those places are in Jamaica. And if I'm in Jamaica, those places I would go. I went to Port Royal last year when I was there, and I went to Devon House. I enjoyed it. It was different. I enjoyed it. I was a bit disappointed because my expectation, I hear people talk about it so much, so my expectation was up here. And I got there and I go, really? This is all the excitement about. Forgive me, Jamaicans. Do not kill me. I love you all my Jamaicans that are on here, I love you all my Jamaicans that are privately watching, I love you all. But I was disappointed when I went to Devon House. I expected a lot. I expected a lot. Port Port Royal, I expected a lot too. I was like, okay, so this is what the excitement is about. But I enjoyed it. Oh, Lindsay, I think what, let me help her, Marlon. Okay, guys, for those of you who are silent watchers, I'm interacting also. That's why I keep looking away from the camera because I'm interacting with my chatters. Lindsay, I think I think you misunderstood him. What he was saying is that he doesn't want a woman to tell him what she likes. And I think you look at it on the. Okay, Angela, I'll address it in a minute. Lindsay, I think you're referring to intimacy. He was referring that I hope I understood what he said, that he doesn't like a woman to tell him what she likes, according to what I said. That I like flowers, and I just don't like you to just go pick up a bunch of roses. I love flowers that are multiple flowers in the bunch. I appreciate those so much. And he was saying he don't like a woman to tell him what she likes. And I was telling him it's important for him to know what a woman like, and to follow through with what you just say, Lindsay, in that area too, in the intimacy part and the sexual part of a relationship. It's okay for women, especially mature women. Yes, we are going to tell you what we like and what we don't like, because it's our bodies. It's our bodies. And you're not a genie. And yes, you're going to say, well, I've been married before and I've been with a woman. Well, maybe what she likes, I don't like it in the bedroom. So it's important to share that. But what he was saying, that when it comes on to date and going out to eat and stuff like that, he would rather, her not saying what she likes. And what I'm understanding from it, so he can surprise her. But it's also good to know what the woman likes to eat and where she likes to go. Because if you take me someplace that I don't enjoy going out to eat with these noisy clubs with a whole lot of music. I want my meal to sit down and enjoy my meal, and for us to converse during the meal, and for us to be able to hear each other during the meal. So I don't like crowded, noisy place. Okay. Okay, Angela. And as I said, this is a wonderful thing about it, that we can appreciate each other's opinion. We can appreciate your opinion. You see? So not everything that works for X will work for Y. And especially those of us who have been in long-term relationship, we cannot carry everything from that relationship and say, well, my husband likes his rice burnt, and I'm going to cook burnt rice for you. Every relationship is different, and getting to know each other, likes and dislikes in the new relationship is important. And when you have such a wide age gap, there is a tendency on both male and female to treat the other person like a child. It's a natural thing because of the age difference. I've heard people say, and in every relationship, it can happen, but mostly in older relationship, I've heard people say, He treats me like I'm his daughter, or she treats me like I'm her son. We can say that in mature relationship, but what we say in mature relationship is like, do not speak to me like that. I'm not your child. You hear more of that than you hear, he treats me like I'm his daughter. Or I mean, sometimes when the relationship, yes, Lindsay, in a perfect world, yes. In a perfect world, yes. But when you are mature, coming out of a long-term relationship, finding a new partner, there's a lot of things that you have to put away and get to know this person as a new chapter in your life. And if you do carry things over, it's the positive things, it's your kindness, it's your warmness, but not saying, well, my ex-wife like this, or my ex-husband like this, and before my husband died, and before my wife died. You can't bring that into a relationship. And courting, as I said before, Sharon, and for those who are just coming on, courting a more mature person in age and in wisdom is different from courting a person who is younger. And Sharon says the person has to be rooted in Christ, and then the man should find their heart. That is true in an ideal world, yes. That is true if you are of the same faith, believe in the same God, and the person is coming with that wisdom, that spiritual wisdom. But we're talking about broad-based here, not only church. If you're not of a church and you're dating, if you're in the church, dating should be different. And let me tell you something too. Lindsay says a woman's heart should be so hidden in Christ. 1 minute, Sharon, then you say it. Lindsay says a woman's heart should be so hidden in Christ that the man has to seek God to find the woman. Yes, I agree with it. Hello. However, if your relationship in Christ and you're seeking Christ for your partner, you still have to get to know your partner. Because deception is in the church too. Deception is in the church too, whether it's marriage, whatever it is, deception is in the church too. That's why we have to have a spirit of discernment. And remember what I said before? We can't be so bitter and so righteous for earth, but no good for the kingdom, that we cannot be flexible on understanding that we're so rigid. He has to come with the Bible on his head, the Bible on his shoulder, the Bible in his heart, on his leg. We have to be wise, because they will come with the Bible, the entire bookstore of Bibles, and still deceive you. And that can happen when we don't use God as our guide and we don't use our head. There are one God, but many gods, especially in 2023. Especially in 2023. And we cannot be so Bible bound and preoccupied with God that we cannot see the person, because they will use all of that and fool you too. So you have to have wisdom and discernment. God calls fools, but he don't keep them. He says, come as you are, and when you come, my Holy Spirit will change you. So we have to love God, love ourselves, trust God, trust ourselves, pray about our insecurities, and trust human beings, trust men, trust women. You know what? I hear of a story, and I guess those in Christendom probably hear similar stories, of a man that he was in a boat fishing, and the boat started to gather water. A little bit of water coming, he said, Lord, send rescue before I drown. More water coming, he's praying, Lord, send rescue. Here comes another fisherman. And the man came and said to him, I'm going to come close and jump in the water, and I will put out a thing to bring you into my boat. And he said, I'm not drowning yet. I'm not drowning yet. The boat is still a long way to go. Another boat came by and says, hey man, I'm coming close to you. And then you jump in the water and I'll get you. He said, I'm not drowning yet, because I prayed to God to send me help before I drowned. The first boat left. The second boat left. And he was out there. And the boat, the sea got rough. And the water just keep coming in. And he's praying, Lord, I told you to send help. And you know what happened, guys? God did send help. He sent two. But he was so preoccupied with his prayer that he didn't see that God was answering it. And the two boat left. The two boat left him. I said that to say this. We ask God to send us a mate. We ask him to send us a companion. But because in our head, we have this perfect man that we're looking for, they come and leave. The simple brother sitting in the back of the church that has been serving God, and the sister sitting in the back of the church that has been serving God all their life. And don't get me wrong, because he don't come like looking like GQ. We pass them up. And then the GQ come and mess up our heads. I'm not saying for you to marry possibilities. They're hoping for the dream job. And they're going to get the dream job and they're going to keep it for more than 6 months. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is getting to know people, getting to know their goals and their aspiration in Christ and their aspiration for themselves. And at 60, 70, and 80, they should attain their goals already. That's all I'm saying. Lindsay, I spoke about that before you come on. I spoke about that before you come on. Accepting ourselves, enjoying our life, not putting, oh, I want to take a trip, but I'm not going to take it until I get a husband. Are you nuts? Take your trip. Take your trip. I'm not going to eat out of my china until I get a girl. You better pick up them china and eat out of them real fast. Men, you better pick out those china and eat out of them real fast. So when the wife comes or the husband comes, we know where to find the china. They're in the dishwasher. I use them today. And Sharon, I'm going to go back to you. Let me, somebody pin her for me, that statement she made, the last statement she made. Or Sharon, you want to repeat it? because I was addressing Lindsay and Marlon. Sharon, pin that statement you said so I could see it. Angela, can you find it? Oh, here it is. I found it. Sharon, I'm going to slap you in another world. Lindsay and Sharon. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Let's treat ourselves good, ladies and gentlemen, especially those of us in our 50s and our 60s and those that are still looking for a partner at 70 and 80s. Treat ourselves good, accept where we are in life, find a partner that is comparable to conversation, to your sexual desires, to your, and guys, know that intimacy does not only comes through sex, you know. Getting to know somebody, the hugs, the kisses. Because it's what time it is? Okay, it's Saturday night, right? And nothing I say here, my pastor cannot hear it if he comes on my channel. I don't use sausage and all those things and mackerel. Those are stuff you eat. Saying the word sex, there's nothing wrong with it. Our kids need to know that it's okay. But I'm not going there. That's another another episode. Or sexual desires must be known in courtship. I don't know. Have you guys read this Dear Pastor thing? It always pops up on my Facebook. I don't know why, because I've never subscribed to it. But the topics can be very enlightening and eye-opening. I read an article that was on his thing that showed up on my page. And for Christ's sakes, all of you women and men that are here, that no, Angela, good men are hard to find. Good, there's a lot of good women out here. Good men. Okay, thank you, Marlon. Stay with me here. Hang out with me a little bit. Those that are watching silently and those that are in the chat, hang out with me Saturday night, you know? We're not partiers, so we're here. And I appreciate you being here. So I read this thing. It said, before I got married, my husband and I spoke about sex. And I told him that I will only have sex when we are ready to have a child. I have 2 children, and I'm not ready to have the third one. And he's bothering me for sex. Now, when I read it, I thought I was being punked. Guys, when I read it, I thought I was being punked. She said during her courtship, she told her husband that she will only get married, that she'll only have sex when she's married, and the only reason is for the only reason is to have a child. Because with these braces, I can't pronounce nothing. The only reason she'll have sex is when she's ready for a child. Here was the reason. She's writing to this man who says he's a pastor that's advised people online. She says, the reason I'm writing to you is because my husband wants sex and I'm not ready for the third child. Are you kidding me? Men, I want to hear from you. If you're dating a woman, now she says her husband agreed to it. I know, Sharon, right? You're dating a woman and sex and intimacy came up in the conversation. And she said, The only time I will have sex is when I'm married. There's nothing wrong with that if that's your choice. And also only when I'm ready for children. Guys, Marlon, well, any other man in here, would you marry a woman that tell you that? He married her. And now he wants to have sex. And she's saying, I'm not having sex with him because I'm not ready for a third child and he's mad at me. And she says her pastor told her that. Now, some of y'all, not you all in my chat, not you all listening, but those who will listen otherwise. Okay, Sharon. But I really wanted your opinion on this one, Sharon. She said her husband agreed that they will only have sex when they're ready for children. And now he wants it regularly. And she's gone out of the bedroom into another room because she's not ready to have a child. Are you kidding me? Guys, these are the things I'm talking about. Sharon. These are the things I'm talking about. And Marlon, when you say you don't want a woman to tell you what she likes, it's important to know what you like in a relationship, man or woman. Because any man that agreed to this, he's wrong. He tricked her. He agreed with her. He liked her. He agreed with her to marry her because he thought she said her husband said he thinks she would change. People don't change that easy, guys. What a person tell you they want, they'll do. And I learned that the hard way. People don't change the core of what they want and they need. They will put up with it for a while, and then the true person shows up. And when they show up like this woman, you become unhappy. Sharon, thank you for staying with us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you for all those that share your Saturday night with me. I appreciate you. And I hope to come on again when I have the time. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you joining the conversation. And this relationship thing will never end. Is Winsome H okay? I hope she's not sick. If she's sick, send her my regards. So, guys, take care of yourself and be honest in dating. Think about what you're doing with these long distance relationship and these big age gap. If it's not going to serve you now, don't say, oh, when he comes here, or when I move there, he will change his mind or things will get better. No, it won't. Okay, Angela, okay. Just wanted to know that she's not sick. If your gut, women, we have a gut that if we listen to it, it's our sixth sense. If we listen to it, sometimes it's the Holy Spirit talking to us. They don't want her until manga season. I love manga season too myself, Marlon. If we listen to our inner voice, ladies, and I think men have them too, if we listen to our inner voice, sometimes they tell us, and we ignore it. We ignore it. The other thing I would encourage people, if you're dating someone, it doesn't matter what age they are, and they can't introduce you to their children or their family, run. Run. Because it's either that they're taking someone else to their family or their children, or they have introduced someone whether on the phone, they have introduced someone to their family. Angela, you'll give the whole mango tree. Child, where you live, I'll come next year in mango season because I love mangoes. This chat has a life of its own. This chat has a life of its own. Y'all are so fun. I miss you all. I got to come on more often. Angela, just tell me where you live. I'll be there next year, mango season. Marlon, just tell me where you all live. I will be there. Yes, Marlon, back to what we're saying. It's not that the man is fool. He lied. Marlon is not a fool. He knew exactly what he was doing. He knew exactly what he was doing. Because there's no way a man can tell me, I will only get intimate with you at Christmas time. Are you crazy? What happened to the other 364 days? What happened to the 364 days and the day, except the days when I pull away to commune with God, or, for my reason that we talk about, we come to an understanding that I'm not in the mood tonight. I just want to rest. You can hug me, but I just don't want to rest tonight. Mutual understanding is so important. He was not fooled. He fooled her. Okay, I just love mango spirit. Those little black ones, I can eat 1,000,000 of them in one breath. So Marlon, he was not fooled. He lied to her. He knew this was not what he wanted, but he wanted to get married. So he thought that in marrying her, she would change. When a person tell you the core of who they are, they're not going to change. They're not going to change. Some people don't tell you and then you find out. He was told during courtship. She said he was told and he agreed to it. Let's just be honest, guys. Let's just be honest. If you don't like a gray hair woman, don't reach out to me, because I'm not going to color it to please you. I don't see coloring it in the near future. But if I color it, is because I want to do it. I'm not going to color it for you because I love it. I think it's sexy. I love it. So if you don't like a gray hair woman, don't reach out to me. Don't reach out to me because I'm not going to color it for you. If you don't like a woman that yells and you don't like a woman that argues, we can work on that. I love a peaceful home. So therefore, in relationships, now with my kids, they told me, they say, Mommy, all you did was yell all through her life. I'm sorry, guys. Stress make you do some things. Stress make you do some things. And I've told them I'm sorry. Is there any pepper in mine? I think there's a few peppers. And I have been graying from a very young age. And I just this year, okay, Angela, I know that about you. You and Sharon, I think I know you and Sharon. I know your core values. I know what you believe in. Lindsay also. Lindsay, you're going all the way back there. Fast food is not something I enjoy. If you guys follow the channel, I wanted some, I call them junk food. I made myself one of the best burgers the other day. Yeah, some of us gray very early. I gray in my late 20s. But it got to the point where Clairol didn't have enough dye to keep up with me. I remember one time I called my sister and I said, what dye do you use? Because your hair lasts forever. And she told me, and I switched to it. I didn't have to dye my hair every other 3 days. It lasted a week or two. And I just embraced it when I turned 63. I said, listen, I'm 63 and I look good. I'm done with this slavery where I can't go to church unless I died because it's showing. I can't go to the job because half of it is black and half is white. And I just embrace it and said, guess what? I'm going to love it. And I tell you, I'm so in love with it now. I'm so in love with it. You guys are on the channel and I was deciding what to do, whether to cut it and I tell you, I cut it for my birthday and I love it. I love it. I love it. I love the gray. I'm thinking what style to do with the gray for the winter, because I love to change up my look. But if there's a man out there that thinks, oh, she's cute, I like her, but I don't like her gray, don't. I'm not going to change it for you. I love to look differently. And if I decide that I'm going to put it orange instead of gray, I'm doing it for me. If I decide I'm going to go black instead of gray, I'm doing it for me. I'm not going to do it for you. Because the whole idea, this is something I love. But if it's about toning down, not getting upset in public because you don't like that. One of the things I love, because I was married before and then I was in a long-term relationship, a long relationship. And one of the things, okay, Angela, one of the things that I love is a gentle, loving, caring man. I'm not talking about a wuss now. I don't like wuss. I love a man to be a man. Not abusive, not loud. You can still be quiet and still be the man in my life. I love a man, and I've been blessed to marry men with these characteristics. I love a man that when I'm upset and he walks in the space that I'm upset, he calms me. I've always been that way. A man that respects me and loves me. And if I get upset and he comes, say I'm fussing with somebody and he walks in the room, his presence makes me stop. His presence, and I've always been that way. I've not been with a lot of men. So the few men that I've been with, that I've always been able to attract men that respects and loves me to the point that their presence when I'm upset. Okay, Lindsay, that when I'm upset, their presence calm me. What what really, really, really gets to me? Say a woman is married. And we get upset. People really know how to sometimes trigger us. And the woman is upset. And the man is there and she don't shut up. I see that as something is wrong at home. Something is wrong in the relationship. Because if your husband cannot calm you when you're upset, something ain't right. If he cannot tell you when you're wrong, something is not right. I might be judging, and pardon me, but that's just my feelings and my opinions. He should be able. He didn't take it serious, Lindsay, because I was able to explain it to you, and he voiced that, he thanked me for explaining it. A woman that the presence of her husband when she's upset cannot calm her. Likewise, a wife that cannot say to her husband, okay, babe, okay, it's okay, and he calms down, I have an issue with it. I don't care who you are. I have an issue with it because that's the person that you're with. That's the person that loves you. That's the person that you have your children with, if you have children. And if they cannot calm you down, something is wrong. Something is wrong. And I've always been blessed that the men in my life were able to do that for me. that I could calm them down in any situation. Likewise, those things are important in a relationship, guys. Those things are important in a relationship. It speaks volume about the home when your partner can calm you down. And there's a lot of men that don't love those type of women that are loud and boisterous. Those are the things that is important to talk about in dating, especially women our age. And I keep saying it because I can only talk about where I am. We have gotten into our own lane, and we're so used to doing things ourselves and taking care of ourselves that I'm not making an excuse for these men that are picking up these 16 and 17-year-old at 80. I'm not making excuses for them. But sometimes it might be the reason. I don't know. I'm not making excuses for them because I think something is wrong with that. That they think that we're so stuck in our ways, and especially strong type A women. Strong type A woman. Men makes excuse that we're too independent and we're too strong. That's why they go to younger women. So is that a reason for us to push back and change up things a little? Of course it is. You cannot change who you are in the core, but you can push back some. Yes, Marlon, some men don't like it at all. Some men don't like vulgar, loud women. I don't think there's a man that likes it. Likewise, I don't like an aggressive, loud, domineering, controlling man. I've never attracted those men. Never. I've been blessed to have men that during the courtship, they develop a respect for me, and there are other areas that cause the marriage or the relationship to not last, but the respect, even now, there's a certain amount of respect, even though we're not together. And it doesn't mean that you're going to be a pushover and let the man or the woman walk over you, but he must be able to calm you down, and she must be able to calm you down in times when, you get flustered. Those are important negotiable things. If you see, thank you, Lord. No, I don't love a controlling, loud, and vulgar man. I don't like it. I don't like a controlling man. I love a man to be a man. That if I says, "Hun, I want to ride a bike," he can say, "Babe, I think if you use an helmet, I'll be more comfortable with it, if that's what you want to do, but be careful." But not to say, "Oh no, you're not going to ride a bike. I don't like a woman that ride a bike." Or you should have told me this when we were dating. So because the other thing too, ladies, okay, Lindsay, I understand. Knowing a person's love language takes time. And sometimes you miss it in the courtship. Why? Because in the courtship, you're learning about her. And, I'm not, listen, courtship don't last for 10 years. That's a marriage. Courtship don't last for 10 years. That's a marriage. Courtship don't last for 5 years unless you're in college and you guys are waiting to finish college, and then you have to decide where you want to live, where you're going to get the job. But at our age, at 50s and 60s, I said it before. Can you imagine if I court a man for 5 years again? I did it before. Or even 10. I did it before. Not in my 60s. Heck no. Then you'll know where my burial stone is. And still you don't marry me? No, I'm not doing it. Not again. Not again. At this point in my life, I won't court more than a year because I've learned so much about myself and about relationship and what I want that once I have a time where I can figure out. And when I look back on my relationships, I knew that this person wasn't going to marry me, but I wouldn't allow myself to accept it. You see? So wasting 10 years on talking about, yeah, Marlon is back. Marlon is up. I thought he dozed off, but he's up. Waiting can, at this age, to wait 2 and 3 and 5 and 6 years, not doing it again. Not doing it. If you don't know within 6 months whether I am the person you want to marry or not, you should know in 3 months, really. You're not tying me up. Not doing it. And let's put it this way. I'm not tying up myself. I'm no longer fooling myself to believe that it will get better. If you can't do it, you can't do it. And I'm out. If you can't do it, you can't do it. From in the gate, I'm dating intentional. I want a serious relationship because I'm looking for marriage. This is what I'm saying. For those of us who don't mind being single, there's nothing wrong with it. But for those of us we don't mind being single, but we're open for a relationship. There are people that swear to permanent singledom. As I said earlier in the chat, I am not there yet. I have a lot of love to give. I love love. I love companionship. I'm in a better space now that I know that I will no longer sit and wait on a man. But I'm open. I'm open for it. And if it doesn't come, I'm good. So for Angela and Sharon, who singleness is their life, more power to you. There's nothing wrong with it because singleness is mental, guys. You can't just decide that you want to be single. There are people who have relationship in the private and talk about their single. No, you're not. No, you're not. Singleness is a mental thing. You have to be ready for it. It has to be something that you want and something that you can live with for the rest of your life. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm saying that if it happens that I don't find a partner that is willing to work with me and be honest and be forthright and be intentional and transparent and mentally available, guys. You're not living on some pain that your ex-wife did you or your wife that died, you can't let her go, but still you want me in your space. We have to be able to figure those things out. And if those things show up, don't tell yourself you can work through it, because take it from me, I've been there. You can't. They make up every excuse why they can't marry you until they start to blame you because they're not honest with themselves. So those of us, no, Angela, I'm not sitting and waiting. We spoke about that earlier on. I'm not sitting and waiting on a man. I'm not sitting and waiting on a man. I'm not sitting and waiting on a man. I sit and wait on a job, but not a man. I'm going to live my life, and if it comes, I'm open to it. Angela, Marlon is an Angela boy. Sharon is gone. Huh? Sharon is gone. Where's Unstoppable? Unstoppable is gone too, or he fell asleep. So, guys, I'm not suggesting that if you choose to be single, there's something wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with you. That's your choice. That's your choice. If you figure singleness is your path in life, that's your choice. That's not mine. If I have to be single, I'm okay with it. I've made peace with it, but I'm open for a relationship. I'm not going to, I don't use the word compromise. I'm not going to be with a person that is so rigid and not flexible and not willing to meet me halfway. I'm not going to do that again. I'm not going to do that again. And I'm finding, okay, he's nice and he's this and he's that, so I'm going to hang in there. I'm not doing it again. Niceness doesn't change the person. And you have to be willing to be honest with yourself that you deserve more. And more could be being single. So there's nothing wrong with being single. I just want people to be honest. If you're seeing somebody, you're not single. Singleness is no one in your life. That's singleness. Not seeing somebody that nobody knows that you're dating. That's not single. So guys, it's late. We've been on for a while. Again, those of you who are watching and are not making yourself visible, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you being here. And before you go, like and subscribe, please. Like if you have not subscribed and you don't want to subscribe, that's your choice. But I'm asking you to like it, please. Like the channel for me. So thank you, guys, for being on here. All of you in chat. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate. I try to come on more often. You know, sometimes I look at the environment on YouTube and I tell you, there's so much that is going on that if I said I'm going on this time, then 5, 6, 7 people is on. And you guys that are watching, that are in the chat and not just watching quietly, you guys are supporting the other channel. So I figure, you know what? There's no space for me right now, so I'll just give it some time. But I will try to come on more often, and hope you enjoyed our Saturday night chat. I had a lot of fun and a lot of laughter with you guys, and we'll do it again soon. Really, Marlon? I'm from St. Anne. Angela, where are you from? I'm from St. Anne. I'm from Ocherias, Marlon. Frankfield. Where's Frankfield? I know Maxfield, but where's Frankfield? In Marlon, where's Franksfield? I know Maxfield, but I've never heard of Frankfield. 15 minutes from St. Anne. I've never heard of. Granted, I don't know Jamaica, so me not hearing of it don't mean anything. So Marlon, where is Frankfield? Lindsay, where are you? Clarendon? I've never been to Clarendon. Oh, it's you, Marlon. Okay. I was wondering. Marlon, I know you. I know you. I know you. I know your brothers. I know you. And I know your mother. Okay. I thought your name looked familiar. Oh, Frankville is in Northern. So you are from Pimento Walk, but you live in Clarendon now, Marlon? Edwin Allen High School. Okay, my nephew went to Edwin Allen High School. Okay. Okay, yes, I remember them talking about Clarendon a lot. Yes, my niece's son went to Edwin Allen High School. They're from Ocherias also. And Marlon knows them. I don't want to call their name out on the platform. They might be even watching. They don't come and chat, but I'm sure they're watching quietly. Yeah, Marlon, Angela, Marlon and I know each other. He doesn't remember me because I was one little skinny thing with long hair. Oh, you brought your retirement property. Marlon, at one time you were in Brooklyn, right? Marlon, at one time you lived in Brooklyn. Have you ever been in the States or Canada? Because I know you traveled. Have you ever been in the States, Marlon? Of course. Of, Cape Cod is the States, Marlon. Cape Cod is Massachusetts. That's in the United States. I remember when you traveled. I remember I went to Jamaica one year and I asked my cousin, my niece for you, and they told me that you traveled. Yeah, but it's nice to see you and nice. Thanks for your support, Marlon. Um, I know you don't remember me, but I know you very well. I think I told you our connection before. Yes, yes, you lived in Massachusetts for a while. I told you our connection before. I think we talked about it in one of my earlier chats. We talked about how we knew each other. I can't believe you went through so much. When I knew you were a very nice guy. Oh, so you're a farmer in Clarendon. Okay. Okay. So Marlon, you hear about the 8-year-old that was raped? I think it's in St. Anne too, in Osherias. Was raped today by the 27-year-old neighbor. She died. He raped her and then killed her. Yeah, yeah. I know your family a lot. I think your mom still goes to that church up there in Pimento Walk, that Church of God church. But we'll talk more on WhatsApp. We'll talk. I put my number out so you can find it. So you guys have a good night. Marlon's nice talking to you. We'll catch up again. You do chickens, Marlon. I know, right, Lindsay? It's terrible, 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 terrible. Such a beautiful little girl. I don't know. Oh my goodness. C- correct, correct. How are you? Thanks for coming on. We're just getting ready to go. We had a lively conversation, girl. Or I forgot whether you're male or female. You missed it. We had such a good time. We're getting ready to go. We're talking about, guess what? The big old word, relationship, long distance, you know, age. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we were on for a while and we were talking about you raise pigs, rabbit, cows, planting, and bananas. You're not joking. So, Marlon, it's a big farm you have. Oh, you just connected. Go ahead and like the channel for me and subscribe, and then you'll know when we're on. But we were just here having a little Saturday night chat about relationship and long distance and all type of stuff we're talking about. Oh, thank you, Lindsay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. So we were here talking about Is long distance relationship worth it? And if 20 and 30-year difference is worth it? 3.5 acres, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. But Clarendon is far, right, Marlon? Because I think when they go there, it used to take them hours when they drop my nephew to school. When my niece dropped my nephew to school, it used to take them hours. So thanks for coming on, correct? Thanks for coming on. Rabbits. What you do? You pet the rabbits, Marlon? Because I know that the cows, that's for eating, and then you do pigs. Oh, your internet is down, Angela. So sorry. That is true. Well, I drive like a beast here, but I would never drive in Jamaica. I tried it and I had a panic attack. I parked that car and came out. I would never drive there. They don't have any roads there. I love the road from Montego Bay to Kingston. I can do that with my eyes closed. I love that road. Rabbit meat? That's what we're going to now. We're eating rabbit meat? $1,500 a pound. That's 100 US dollars a pound for rabbit? Oh my goodness. You can keep the rabbit and the pig, Marlon. I barely want to eat chicken anymore and goat meat. You can keep it. Rabbit meat is nice. Really, Angela? Y'all can keep it. I can do without it. I can do without it. I don't even like chicken, much as rabbit. 12 pounds and 15 pounds rabbit. That's a human being. That's not a rabbit. And you kill them and people buy them? So, okay. So then, and help me here, Marlon. Not a judgment. I'm just asking. So rabbit meat can be, they can sell it instead of goat meat, right? Is it that type of meat? Is it rabbit meat? Does it look like goat meat, Marlon? Common fowl. That's a fowl that's grown in the yard. But those chickens, I saw somebody had a chicken coop, and in 6 weeks, those chicken was massive. That's the common fowl, and Angela, the one that they raised. They buy them as little babies, and then they raise them, and in 6 weeks they're ready to sell. Oh, $10, not $100. Okay. Oh, that's right. It's 150 plus for US dollars. Yes. Okay. Oh, mostly Chinese. So that means they're selling that thing in there for meat. Angela says rabbit is organically fed and she love it. Okay. Y'all can keep the rabbit. I ain't eating no rabbit meat. I'm not eating no rabbit meat. Not me. I barely want to eat chicken anymore. And goat meat is not something I eat a lot. When I visit Jamaica, I eat it. Up here once in a while, I eat it. But I'm okay. Angela, chicken you call fall. Okay. Yeah, that's the ones that they raise and sell them. Well, yeah, because we had chickens. I never seen them kill the chickens. The chickens we had in Ocean, they never kill it. Yeah, those eggs are good, Marlon. I love those eggs. They taste so good. And the yolk is so nice and orange. So, Marlon, you're sitting on a bag of money, because if you have a farm in Jamaica, that's money. Your wife must love you. A farm in Jamaica is money. So do you do like vegetables, cabbage and callaloo and all those things, Marlon? No wife. Okay. Angela. Angela's not married, and she's in Jamaica, Marlon. You don't. Lindsay, are you married, Lindsay? Marlon is single. So I'm gonna have a home care connection. Vegetable for home purposes. Okay. So I'm doing a chat connection. Lindsay's not married. Marlon is single. Angela, are you married? Sharon is well. Sharon is she's gonna be single. She's wearing the single. She has the gold cup for single life. She's okay, and there's nothing wrong with that. So Marlon, Lindsay's single. No, you're not single, Lindsay. You're married. You know, falling in love is not the thing. Falling in love don't make sense. You have to grow in love. If you're going to fall, it's not going to work. You have to grow in love. Lindsay single, Angela single, and they're right there in Jamaica, Marlon. Oh, so Marlon, you and Sharon y'all can do well. Sharon has decided that no man in her life, and you are saying you have no woman and you won't entertain anyone. Okay, it's your choice. But Lindsay's single and Angela is single. How old is Marlon? I guess Marlon is in his 50s. Correct? Rabbits is you eat rabbit too? But what is this? I'm outnumbered. All the rabbit eaters, raise your hands. All the rabbit eaters, raise your hands. That's a bit much to eat them. Marlon is still young. He's 52 and he's given up on women. That is sad, Marlon, but if you can do it, go ahead. It's better to be honest than, fool someone and you don't want a relationship. Okay. Okay. Oh my goodness. Quint, how are you? Quint, first time seeing you here. Welcome. Like the channel for me and subscribe so you can know when we're on. We were here talking about relationships, Quint, and we're getting ready to go off, but we're just chit-chatting with each other. Oh, you don't give up on women. You just want to be single. Okay. Are you kidding? And you eat that? It looks like a skinned, oversized rat, and you eat that? Oh my gosh, that would turn me off, correct? Okay, Marlon, happy to know because I know you as a woman's man. So for you to give up on that now, Lindsay, Lindsay. So, Quint, we're fine on here. We're fine. We're fine. Okay, Marlon, respect. People put worse than that. Okay, correct. I'm going to stay away from that one. I'm going to stay away from that one, correct. I am going to. I'm gonna stay away from that one. Not touching that. It's Saturday night and it's open night, but I'm not. Lindsay, do not join him. Lindsay, do not join him. Do not join him. Well, mackerel is a fish that sells in a tin. So correct. I used to eat it. I love the salted ones. You know, I used to eat mackerel. I love the one that they sell in Jamaica because it's a fish. So I eat that. I love it with green bananas. It's so good with lots of onions and peppers. I love the ones that sell in a can. I don't know any other mackerel. The only one I know is the fish that swims and they sell it in a can, or you can buy it freshly salted. I know no other mackerel. So I can't identify with that other mackerel. You know? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What are we talking about, Quint? We were talking about, yes, that's the only one I eat. And Grace sells it and Lasco and, listen, let me tell you, I don't, Lindsay, I'm call a spade a spade. I'm not gonna call it that. I'm not gonna call it that. Quinn, so we were talking about, now we're just socializing, but we had a serious conversation, Quint, about um age gap relationship and long distance relationship. Are they sustainable? Is it, is it something that we should do if we're looking for a companion? Do we want, if I'm 60 plus, do I want somebody 80 and I'm looking for a companion? So why should I get involved with someone that I always have to take a plane to visit? Yes, this age gap thing, correct, has gone out of control. It has gone out of control. And some men want to blame us mature women who are independent, that they want younger women because we are too old. But we just get better with age. We get better with age. That's all we do. We get better with age, correct? We get better with age. So they wanted to think that we are getting old and we're close to the grave. It's not true. Some of us looks better than a 30-year-old, some 60 and 50-year-old woman. So I'm not buying that. That's their insecurity. That's their choice. Correct. You let Lindsay phone fell out her hands. What did you say? No, dear. No, dear. No, dear. Lynn, correct. I am not talking about. Yeah, what is that, Lindsay? Oh, thank you. And it's not Miss, ma'am. It's not Miss. It's home care queen or queen. I'm not a mom yet. This gray hair is a fashion statement. That's a fashion statement. I'm 63, pretty. I'm still young. Okay, correct? So you can say queen. Who, Lindsay? Who's crazy in love? I'm in love with me. Hmm? Yes, it's tin mackerel. Believe me, it's tin mackerel. Okay, okay. Correct. It's tin mackerel I'm talking about. There's no other mackerel. Massachusetts to Orlando? Back and forth? That's a ride. That's a ride. I mean, when we're in love, we do anything for love, they say. But I would not do a long distance relationship. That, for where I am in the space of my life, I would rather someone that lives here. So we can build a relationship and get to know each other. Really correct? Really? 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 Correct? Really? Really? What you said? Really? What you said? Really? Really? You say that now? You say that now? Lindsay? Marlon, check out what Correct said. You say that now? You say that now? You say that now? Yes, it's a long ride. It's a long, long ride. Because from New York to there is about it's about the same. Yes, 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 yes. You're still a kid. Welcome to the platform. We welcome everyone over 18 here. But also, you know, conversation can be a bit mature. I do. Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Don't tell me, don't tell me. I get in trouble with, are you a member of my church? Because I know the youth group follows me. And I hope you're not a part of that 15-year-old group in my church that follows me, because let me tell you, I got in church. I got in trouble with that a couple months ago. You must grow in love and not fall in love. Correct. Are you here in the US? I don't think you're from my church because oh my God. Okay, so you're not from the youth group.